A while ago, I thought of people that I knew when I grew up in my teenage years, and this one friend in particular, she told me that she had, I want to say it was like 3 siblings that died of miscarriage. Her and her brother, were the ones that survived and obviously lived and were born. But the 3 miscarriages, I don't know who they are, but obviously someone that I knew when I grew up. She obviously never met them, of course. And what at the time I thought was, because of the 2 people I'm referring to, I thought that because of a mother miscarriaging, those children or child, they would obviously be born, or they end up dying in the mother's womb. And I thought, maybe those kids obviously go to heaven, which obviously they do go to heaven when they pass away in the mother's womb. But the children that are born, because of this, they end up choosing the ways of sin, which is what most of the whole world does, and they are doomed for hell. But a brother in the Lord, who I'm going to name in this video, Alec, I mentioned this to him, and he told me, which completely blew me out of the water, because I didn't expect him to say this, or just didn't even think of this at all, is that he ended up telling me, well, Nick, we were born and not miscarriaged, or in layman's terms, we didn't die in our mother's womb. And today, which of course I've thought of it then, but today I'm walking here on the Missouri River. Across the river, towards this way is Kansas, and I'm on the Missouri side. I'm walking on this bike trail, and I thought about that. And it made me think, because even within my family, there was a miscarriage. And I thought of the same way, because there's even family members I know that, I'm not sure how many, I know that a few defend homosexuality or same-sex relationships and marriages. And like I said in the beginning, I thought of the same way, where if a miscarriage, or if a family has a miscarriage, but the child that's born, I thought, maybe God allows that to be an example. But I'm here to tell you, at that time when I thought of that, I thought wrong and incorrectly. And I never made a video about that, because I myself was unsure, and I kept it to myself and the matter to myself. And just basically get on with it, everyone is born with a purpose to serve, follow, and obey Jesus. And every day we have to choose Jesus, the moment we wake up, and the moment we sleep, and even while we're sleeping, when we continuously pray to him, follow him, and obey him by his word. And by word, I mean word of mouth, from his mouth to us, in spirit and in truth. And it is our choice to follow him. We are not predestined from the moment we are born for hell. We're not. Because if that were the case, then it would be so. But because it's not so, it is not so. And to people that I know, and if you're someone that I actually know who I am referring to, even within my own family, who is watching this video and you know what I'm talking about, quit rejecting the ways of Jesus. Even the things that you have heard from the apostate church that have let you down, don't even listen to them, but rather listen to Jesus, and make sure that it's the real Jesus, because I'm telling you, I met the living Jesus Christ, which is the living God, in a dream of a dream. And his presence was terrifying when he told me, "Depart from me, I never knew you." But he gave me a second chance to come back and tell people about my dream of him revealing himself to me. And this doesn't just go to a single family member of mine, or a few family members of mine, or even friends that I grew up at the time when I was a teenager, roller skating. And if some of you know what I mean by that, then you know what I mean. But this goes to anyone who listens, because Jesus is real. He gives chances, but woe to those who abuse those chances, because those who abuse those chances, the moment you die, you will come to a great surprise when you go to the gates of heaven, like Jan Boshoff's friend who went to the gates of heaven and said his name at the gate, and the voice behind the gate said, "Who are you? Depart from me, I never knew you." So that is the message that I have today. So if you are a brother or sister in the Lord, or if you are someone who thinks, well, my miscarriage family members are in heaven, but I'm just doomed for hell anyway, so it doesn't really matter, don't listen to that garbage, because I even believed that to a degree, but I wasn't even sure. And eventually I asked God, and I kept asking him, and eventually a brother in the Lord, Alec, told me from the inspiration of the Spirit of God that this was basically not true, that we were all born, and we weren't miscarriage. We didn't die in our mother's wombs. We made it through, we basically made it through out of our mother's womb to live. So that is all I have to say today. So may Jesus Christ bless you all, and don't believe the lies and deceptions of Satan.